Güllü died on September 26, 2025, after falling from the sixth-floor window of her home in Çınarcık district of Yalova. Following the incident, the Yalova Public Prosecutor's Office launched an investigation into the suspicious death. The expert report prepared as part of the investigation determined that an external force in contact that disrupted Güllü's balance would have been necessary for her to fall backward. The report emphasized that no evidence of suicidal thoughts was found. Tuğyan Gülter, Güllü's daughter who was in the same room with her on the day of the incident, was arrested on charges of intentional homicide. Her friend, Sultan Nurulu, was placed under house arrest. In her statement, Güllü claimed that Güllü was pushed by her daughter. Güllü released her music album in 1994. This album was very well received by the public. Güllü's songs remained at the top of the music charts for a long time. In 1996, Güllü married Gülter, who was known as a producer in the music industry at that time and also produced her albums, and she withdrew from the stage during her married life. Problems existed between Güllü and Gürel from the very beginning of their marriage. Despite their troubled marriage, the couple had two children, their daughter Tuğyan in 1998 and their son Çınarcık Yıldız in 2000. However, disagreements and family problems continued, and due to custody disputes, their 6-year marriage officially ended in 2002. Following the end of her marriage, Güllü decided to return to the stage and the music industry, although Güllü occasionally made headlines in the tabloids and the music industry during her lifetime. She spent the final years of her life focusing on her work and personal life without being as much in the spotlight. While Güllü was known to be living her life without problems, the shocking event occurred on September 26, 2025. Güllü fell from the window of her apartment on the 6th floor and was injured. Medical and police teams arrived at the scene. After the medical intervention, it was determined that Güllü had died at the scene, and her body was taken to the Yalova Training and Research Hospital morgue. Police officers who arrived at the scene reported the situation to the assigned public prosecutor for the day, and investigations were initiated regarding the matter. Deaths resulting from falls from a height are generally viewed as suspicious, and investigations are thoroughly conducted. Güllü's fans and the media closely followed the incident, and every detail deemed suspicious remained in the headlines. The main reason for the claims that the incident was not an accident was the emergence of security camera footage. The security system that Güllü had recently installed in her home was a crucial element that would facilitate the work of the investigating teams. According to the information obtained, Güllü, her daughter Tuğyan, and Tuğyan's friend Sultan were also inside the house on the day of the incident. An examination of the security camera footage inside the house revealed that at approximately 1:24 a.m., Güllü came out of the bathroom and called out to her daughter Tuğyan and her daughter's friend Sultan, who were inside the house, asking, "Is everyone ready?" Afterwards, she reacted with surprise upon hearing a sound coming from a point not visible to the camera angles, saying, "What is that?" and then proceeded towards the source of the sound. Unidentifiable sounds were heard coming from. The expert committee's report, prepared as part of the investigation conducted by the Yalova Chief Public Prosecutor's Office, has been completed. The report, prepared by the expert committee which conducted an on-site investigation and examination on October 8, determined that for Güllü to fall backward, there must have been an external force in contact that disrupted her balance. The report emphasized that the artist had taken safety precautions and found no evidence of suicidal thoughts. It also noted that Tuğyan, who had previously experienced near falls, did not warn Güllü despite knowing about the situation. At this point, the files included not only technical reports, but also very serious witness statements from those close to the family. The allegations and comments made by people suggested that the incident was not an accident. Various claims were made regarding the camera footage, and possible scenarios regarding the incident were evaluated by national and social media channels that showed interest in the event. The first person to voice suspicion of murder was someone close to Güllü, her boss Ferdi Aydın. Ferdi Aydın, in a statement given via a television program, said that he had suspicions about Güllü's death and that the incident might not have been a natural or spontaneous event. He stated that Güllü had said to him during a conversation, "If something happens to her, my daughter is responsible." After Ferdi Aydın made this claim, other people also began to share what they knew about the matter. Following the incident, assessments were being made based on the allegations that emerged, and new allegations were being made about Güllü's daughter, who was considered a suspect. One of the most shocking allegations came from Berkin Hanım, another friend of Tuğyan Ülkem. Berkin Hanım stated the following in her testimony: Tuğyan Ülkem interfered too much in his mother's life and that's why he wanted to kill her. He openly discussed this with her, even planned the murder, looked for a hitman, and sent her messages to that effect. According to the allegations, Tuğyan, the daughter, constantly had problems with her mother and therefore wanted her mother to die as soon as possible. Ferdi Aydın, the owner of the entertainment venue in Istanbul where Güllü performed, came to the Yalova courthouse to file a criminal complaint. Accompanied by two witnesses, he stated that Güllü's daughter, Tuğyan Güllü, ended her mother's life and that she had been planning this for approximately 6 months. He presented WhatsApp messages as evidence. These messages were between Tuğyan and her friend Berkin. Tuğyan, who wrote that she wanted her mother Güllü to die, admitted in her statement to the prosecutor's office that the messages belonged to her. However, regarding the messages she sent, these allegations are very ugly, people are very cruel. I absolutely did not say anything like I was going to hire a hitman to end my mother's life. It was just a few sentences I said during an argument months ago. And it was never about hiring a hitman. She was everything to me. We argued from time to time, like everyone else. But everyone took the matter in a completely different direction. We had already made up after that anyway, she said, defending herself against the allegations. As the investigation deepened, the focus shifted to Güllü's daughter, Tuğyan Güllü. The singer's daughter, Tuğyan Güllü, and her friend, Sultan Nurulu, who had been under technical and physical surveillance for some time, were caught and detained by the police in Istanbul while trying to illegally cross into Georgia or France with suitcases. As part of the investigation conducted by the Yalova Chief Public Prosecutor's Office, Güllü's daughter, Tuğyan Güllü, and her friend Sultan Nurulu, who was in the same room on the day of the incident, were taken into custody on charges of intentional homicide. In her statement to the prosecutor, Tuğyan Güllü denied all allegations, saying she did not kill her mother and that her mother had fallen on her own. Following her statement to the prosecutor, Tuğyan Güllü was referred to the magistrate's court with a request for arrest and was arrested on charges of intentional homicide. Sultan Nurulu shared that in her statement to the prosecutor's office, she confessed, Tuğyan deliberately threw his mother out of the window. In his statement to the prosecutor, Güllü said he witnessed Güllü's fall, stating, "I saw Tuğyan from behind, wrapping his arms around her mother's legs from under her hips, and pulling her slightly upwards. Immediately after Tuğyan pulled her mother like that, her mother fell. I saw the moment she fell," she said. She also stated that she couldn't confess what happened because she was scared, adding, "At one point when we were alone with Tuğyan, she said to me, 'If I burn, we both burn.' The reason Tuğyan said this to me was because I saw her push her mother." This statement, which directly constitutes an accusation of crime, was included in the file as one of the statements that strengthened the suspicion. Regarding Sultan Nurulu, it was decided to impose a judicial control measure in the form of house arrest. Based on all these statements, digital evidence, and technical reports, Tuğyan Güllü was detained and subsequently arrested. She is currently in prison, and an indictment is being prepared. The court process is very close. The court will make the final decision. Why is this case so shocking? Because in this case, a mother died, a girl is under arrest, friends' statements corroborate each other, there are digital messages, there are technical reports, and there are allegations that the murder was planned. Therefore, the public is closely following this case. In the Güllü case, it's no longer rumors, but evidence and witnesses that are speaking. Whatever the truth is, it will be revealed in the courtroom. We will continue to follow this case closely. We will keep you, our dear viewers, informed of developments.